Okay, we can start. Mhm.
Okay.
So the first thing that we need to appreciate, Kenneth and Michael, is that Excel is very huge. As a financial modeler, you don't need to know all the Excel functions. Excel has over 470 functions, but they say very good financial modelers know not more than 20 functions. Just to prepare an integrated financial statement, you may just need maybe 4 functions that would help you. But the first thing that you have to do, you need to improve in your efficiency. At Roy Consult, we teach efficiency because that is the first thing that you need to know. Your shortcuts, how to do certain things quickly. And that is what this particular lecture is actually going to focus on. So the first part, we'll look at how to navigate without a mouse. I see it even there at our office. People have laptops, yes, but they always want to accompany the laptops with items such as a mouse and all that. But we don't need that. So let's check on example 1. We can use Control, Shift, and arrow keys to navigate around. Just press in D9. So if you want to go to July in column K, you can hold Control Shift and the arrow key, this one that goes this side. The arrow key that goes the other side on your right side. So if you hold Control Shift, then you press the arrow key like that. It will take you up to the last cell which has data. Or you're still in D9, you can still press Control Shift and down arrow key. It will take you down up to July. There are times when you have a table like this, and I see so many times people highlighting like that. But all you need to do is to hold Control A. So Control A, it will highlight wherever there is data or within that particular area of your table is going to be highlighted just by pressing Control A. Kennedy, are we there? Mm-hmm. So there are times when you are working on a worksheet or you have a model which was not developed by yourself or a spreadsheet that was not prepared by yourself. You would want to check what is in there, the formulas and all those other things. So what you do,
Are you there?
Okay, sorry. So, you open a new workbook. Let me give you this example. I think I have a number of files here. Let me just check. LBO. So, look at this model. So as a financial modeler or as a supervisor, there you have a department that you are actually managing. You have all these worksheets that are not prepared by yourself, spreadsheets, even models that could be prepared by maybe investors or lenders. So there are times when you want to understand what is in there. You are trying to interrogate that particular model or a spreadsheet. You can just hold Control and press what they call tilde, like this. So it will show me, I'm able to see the formulas in there. So if there are any hard-coded numbers, I'll be able to see them, like in line 34. I'm able to see the hard-coded numbers. Once I'm done, after interrogating this particular spreadsheet, I can still press Control, then again I press tilde, like that. But let me go back to the worksheet because I've prepared that for you. So here, if you press, you know the tilde, this sign, which is just below escape, Michael.
Yes.
So if you just press this, Control and that, it will show you. So I'm able to see the hard-coded, like 2017 is hard-coded, meaning that it is not coming from anywhere. It's just a hard-coded number which has just been superimposed in a particular cell. But I'm able to see wherever there are actually formulas. After I'm done, I can now still press Control, again, tilde, like that. So this shortcut, it just helps you to check how the formulas are coming in, or even just to appreciate the spreadsheet more. Especially for Kenneth, there are times when your subordinates in certain areas, where they're supposed to put formulas, they haven't put formulas, they have just superimposed numbers. So when you do that, you'll be able to see where those problems are coming from.
Okay.
My favorite shortcut is Control-1. Every day I use it. Every day. Whenever I'm just in spreadsheets, because I spend over 6 hours working on spreadsheets every day. So I hope you're going to adopt this shortcut. It's Control-1. It gives you access to all formatting options. So let's just highlight up to 25, up to 2025. Okay. Michael, have you highlighted?
Yes.
Then press Control-1. Control-1. So if I want to go to borders, to alignment, I can go to alignment, I can go to fonts. It's a full bouquet. I can go to borders, I can do whatever I want to do here. I can fill in some colors. Can go to protection, protect, or unprotect. I can go to number formatting, and that is what I want to do. So we can go to custom. So over here, just go to custom. So imagine you have the actuals. I know for Kennedy, with this training, first we'll start with Excel up until we start looking at the integrated financial statements. Well, we'll do the balance sheet, the income statement, the focus on all these other things. So you need to understand these small principles so that when we reach that, at that point, it will be very easy. So when we go to custom, we want to change these years. We want to show that they are actually focus or plans or budget. So you can just type 0. Then you can type F if you want. So to show 2021, F meaning that's a forecast. If it's a budget, you can type B like this. Or sorry, if it's a budget, then you can do inverted comma B, and then you do like that, because it is not a custom. It wasn't built in by Excel. So you need to put inverted comma B, inverted comma. But for this purpose, we'll type F. If it is A, actuals, you can do like this. So to show 2021A, but in this case, we want to show as a forecast.
So the 0 still has to be there.
Hello?
The 0 still has to be there?
Yes. It's just a format which
So
we are
that
saying.
particular case-
Whatever year you have, after that particular year, there should be an F or an A.
Okay.
So it should be like this. You'll find
Okay.
other financial modelers would do like this. You have seen that. Then we'll put an F. Others would say, we'll do like that and type A as actual. But there's no
let me
harm,
just ask
just
for
type 0F.
Okay. Let me just ask for 1 minute. I connect the laptop so I am unable to see.
Yeah,
These
please,
are small
you
on the
have to,
phone, huh?
you have to.
On
You
the
have
phone,
to.
yeah.
Connect the laptop, you have to. Let me just even
Okay,
just
let me
pause.
just
Go to D28 and highlight up to D32. D28 up to D32.
I just highlight.
Yes. So it's just Control Shift down arrow key. So when you're in here, if you want to, especially if you have a lot of data in rows, maybe 1,000 or so rows, you will not manage to doing it like this. It will take you a lot of time. So you just press Control, Shift, then you have the down arrow key.
Yeah. There.
Okay. As a shortcut. So Shift down arrow key. So we want to format these years, 2021 up to 2025. They are forecast years. So say you press Control and 1. So this is one of my popular shortcuts that I use. It can take me to align, font, border, fill, protection, or I can go down, tab, and go down like this up to custom. So over here, under custom, I can just type 0, then enter F. And press OK. So I can have other numbers, other years, which are actuals, which I would show as an A.
Okay.
But what it does, this Control 1, again, maybe you can still press Control 1. You can go to borders. You can press
Borders.
borders. So under borders, example, if we want to pick, you can pick any on this. I've picked the style, you can do like that and have something like this. So control 1 is a very helpful shortcut. Very, very helpful. You will see as we move on, especially when we start now preparing the integrated financial statements.
So if you just go back again where we did control 1.
Okay.
First of
So
all, obviously we
I like this.
highlight
Control 1. Then you check on the styles here. Let's say we are picking this style, maybe the second one, the first one, this one. Having picked this, we can go to outline and press on outline. So we have something like that. Then maybe before you press OK, we can go to fill. And press maybe N color. I like gray. Most of the models I use gray, so press gray and press OK. So you can have something like this. Okay. So you'll see as we move on, we'll be using this shortcut. I'm just introducing them and just trying to show you just a snippet of what they are or what they are able to do. Coming to formatting. You can use a function called F5 to apply appropriate formatting options. Most organizations, obviously in Africa, they do not have color codes. If you prepare a spreadsheet, each color that you have in the spreadsheet or a model, it should carry some meaning. Others, they'll do it according to what comes into their mind, and you have so many colors which do not mean anything, more or less like a psychedelic or something like that. Others have adopted the color codes recommended by Microsoft. But as financial modelers, as we move on, I'll show you the best practice, the colors that we have agreed as financial modelers to use. For example, the color codes that you find in Excel, just go to home. Just want to show you, will not use them. Go to home, press home. Go to cell styles. So these are the color codes. If you find a cell with this color, it's an input cell, a linked cell, a hyperlink, warning cell, output, not calculation. So they have what they call data and model. These are the colors that Microsoft has recommended. Okay. But now that you are becoming financial modelers, maybe we should go by what the best practice, the modeling. Financial modelers, they use, if it's an input, they'll use blue and maybe a pale yellow color. That is an input cell where you have just hard coded. For outputs, or the ones that have computations or calculations, they'll actually use black. Any other cell, they'll use black. If it's an external link, they'll use green. But personally, I don't recommend, and we'll move, I'll explain this further. I don't recommend one coming up with a workbook or a financial model, and this model is picking from external workbooks. I'd rather all that data is in one workbook. So how do we use F5 to quickly do the formatting? Let's just highlight up to here. Let me know if you have highlighted. Michael, have you highlighted? From
Almost.
E43 to H60.
Just a minute.
Okay, waiting.
Yes. I've highlighted.
Okay, so press a key called F5. It's either F5 or Control G. So if you
Control
check,
G.
if I come here, I press Control G, it will still be the same pop-up that will come. Or I can press function F key, the F key, F5. So Michael, you can choose either to press Control G or F5, but F5 maybe is quicker.
Okay, do F5. This is what is coming. Go to, of course, find and replace.
Hello? Do you have this? Do you have this pop-up?
Okay. Let me use Control G. If I
use Control G.
Yeah, it gives me go. Yeah, go to.
Okay. So then you go to special. You go to special.
Okay.
So on here, you go to constants. You press on constants because constants are hard-coded numbers. And we are actually saying that in your model, hard-coded numbers, they'll need to be in color blue. So when you check a model, and this is just a general practice by financial modelers, when you have access to a particular financial model, where you find color blue, it means that those numbers are input cells, or those cells are input cells. So press on constants. On this one, we can leave numbers and text and remove logicals and errors.
Okay.
So uncheck logicals and errors. So you leave numbers and text. So then you can press OK. So it will highlight where there are hard-coded numbers. Then you go to home, you take your cursor nicely, you press on home. Under home, you press on blue. I don't know which blue you would pick. You press on blue. Let me know if you have pressed blue. Then you wait for more instructions.
Okay.
Then go to this bucket, the fuel color bucket. Just check where my cursor is. Go to the down, to the drop down. You can pick this color, maybe gold, or let's just pick this color here, which is gold accent 4, lighter 60%. So we can pick that color and press OK. Yeah, this one, and press OK. So what it means is that wherever you see that color and blue font, It means that they are hard-coded numbers. Those are input cells.
Okay.
But you can use these techniques to quickly audit a spreadsheet which has been prepared by your junior. So there are certain areas where you expect that this junior is going to put a formula, say in the balance sheet. Then maybe this person has realized that it's not balancing. Then he decides to superimpose certain figures just to balance it up. It's also common when you're extracting data from external data source, such as Oracle, Sun System, all these accounting packages. There are times when certain elements, which using your naked eyes, they look like they are numbers, yet they are not numbers. You can still use your F5 key or your Control G to highlight the constants or to highlight text. Okay, is it all right up to this level?
Yes, it is.
So what happens,
Yes.
Kennedy, when you develop a model or some spreadsheet, you develop a financial model, you don't waste a lot of time trying to do your formatting. All you do once you are done, that is when now you can use your F5 key or Control G and highlight everything at a go and put it the format that actually meets your policy or that actually aligns with the best practice. So this function key F9, it shows the output of the selected component of the formula. You know, there are times when you have this spreadsheet or a financial model, or you have developed it, or you developed it sometime back, but the users, they have confused it. They have manipulated the model to an extent that it is now spitting errors. You can still use the function F9 to see which component of the formula is giving you an error. So first we have the enterprise value. We want to check on the implied equity purchase value because the formula here looks a bit not complicated, but a bit mouthful than the formula on the enterprise value, because on enterprise value, we know that it's the EBITDA times the EBITDA multiple. It gives us the value of the enterprise. So when you look at leveraged buyout, or these days, the way they value these companies, other than using the cash flow, the future cash flow model of valuing businesses, they actually use the EBITDA multiple and the EBITDA values. Some would even look at revenue. But the problem with revenue is that maybe the revenue that you have may even be lower than your cost of sales. So it will be very difficult to value a company using revenue.
Yeah.
So let me just show you one document. I hope I have it here. I think it's there. Let me just open one document. Kennedy, you are at the academy, so here it's not just Excel. It's not
I
Excel.
know.
You can go
I've
out
just
there
said,
and learn
okay.
Excel. Here you are learning about all these things that happen in the industry.
I've noticed that.
So let me open this. So on the forum, I'll send most of these documents. Okay, let me go there. So you can see how enterprises, how to find the enterprise value. You have your EBITDA, you have your EBITDA and your EBITDA multiple. So when you multiply these two, it gives you the enterprise value. Then you can now reduce, if you want to know the implied purchase value, then you can now reduce your net debt from this value, because basically what it shows you is that in the next 8 years, this is the value of your EBITDA. So the value of your EBITDA, your future cash flows, basically it's your future operating cash inflow times your multiple. And these multiples, you can check most companies, like if today they were to sell Lafarge, this Lafarge here, the entry, what they call entry multiple, EBITDA multiple, will be about 8.6. So if you have a similar company in Zambia that deals in cement, and I want it to be valued, I would use maybe the entry multiple about 8.6. Or when you're buying these companies, obviously the entry multiple should be slightly, or should be lower than the exit multiple. I know once we are done with these Excel things, Kenneth, then now we'll go to start coming up with the LBOs, coming up with the financials. After that, then I can say, I'm releasing you, Kenneth, you can go and do your thing.
Okay, thanks.
I was laughing with my friend at the office. We were saying, you see, when we see most of these reports that our friends are doing, they will talk about gross profit. They will talk about, no, the budget was this against this. But the current way of looking at things is different. Now, they are concentrating on lenders' ratios. That is what they are concentrating on. They are concentrating on knowing the enterprise value and all that, because that is what matters most. You can have a higher gross profit, but how does it actually, does it help you in managing your lenders? How much do you have as your EBITDA cushion? So these documents, they'll all be flooded on that site. You are a God client. Michael is a platinum. You are a God client, so you have all this.
Don't worry, Michael. We just the same.
You also, once you start now working and doing all these big things, you can now come to Roy Consult to be a God client.
Yeah.
So this is how the value. Okay, we can get back there.
All right.
So the roadmap is well known, Kennedy. Once we are done with all the Excel, if you check on the site, I've already posted the financials, audited financials for Lafarge. And I've rearranged the financials according to what we know in the industry, in the financing industry. So what you will be doing, or what we'll be doing, will be now, since we have these actuals coming from their financials, but well arranged, we'll project up for 5 years. The income statement, the balance sheet, the cash flow statement, will bring in other assumptions, such as on the revolver, the mezzanine, because Lafarge is one of the few companies, in case you don't know, Lafarge Zambia is one of the few companies that does not owe anyone. That's very surprising. But I've brought in the revolver because I have to show you, you have to be trained on how you come up with a revolver, the mezzanine or senior debt and all that. So we'll have all these assumptions once we do our Excel. To be interesting. Can go back there. So go to E69.
Yeah.
So before we use the function F9, let's just go through other alternative operations that you can use to check where these formulas are actually, where this cell is getting the information, the inputs. I see sometimes you can use first a function called F2. You just press F2, it will show you where the formulas are coming from, to show you. Just pressing a function called F2. Or you can go to formulas, you can go to formulas and press trace precedence. If it's dependent, you can press on dependent to check which cell is dependent to that particular data we have. But obviously in this, we do not have any dependent. So we can go to formulas and press trace precedence. These are auditing tools. So it will show us where.
Just whilst you are that, my.
Hello, just speak closer to the mic.
Okay, whilst you're at it, I'm looking at my toolbar. It's a bit different. Mine has some colorful, it has some colorful, where you have the formulas on the toolbar. Mine there's 386 grabber, then there's normal.
I can barely hear you. Maybe because for me I have the mic. You should invest in this thing.
No, that's fine. So where you have the formula, for example, you went in your toolbar and you are able to pick the formula. My laptop has a different layout. I have some colors there where there's 386 grabber, then there's normal, there's good. Then when I drag down the draw down arrow, then that's when I have check cell, calculator, and all that. So it's a bit different. Huh?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have a different.
Okay, but on the formula bar, when you go to the formula tab, are you able to see the audit tools?
If I go to the formula,
so press on formulas, then go to trace precedence.
Yes.
Hello?
Okay, I can see. Yeah. Yes, I can see that.
And there are blue lines that have come.
Yes.
So it basically shows you that if it was picking, say, from an external source, it will show a black line. For example, if I come here on EBITDA, maybe in F50, then I go to formulas, because this is picking from a different worksheet. I press trace precedence, it will show that black thing. So I can take my cursor there and double click, and I can go directly to that particular cell and press OK. So it brings me to this cell. Okay. So on formulas, let's just remove the arrows. That is one way in which you can have a visual understanding of where this particular cell is drawing its inputs from. But then you can still evaluate the formula in here by going to formulas. You go to evaluate formula. You just press that. So to give you the whole formula, Michael, so you just press on evaluate E50 to tell you what is in E50. So if I press E50, it tells me that what is in E50 is 109.2. I'm able to see it here. Then again, if I press on evaluate, it will show me what is in E56. In E56, there's 8. So if I check on E56, there is 8. I can continue and press evaluate to show me what is in E58. In E58, I'll press evaluate again. E58, there's 216. I'll keep on pressing. I'll press on evaluate again. It will show me what is in I think it was E60 where there's 72. Then when I press evaluate, it will calculate 216 minus 72. So to show me that this is 144. Again, I press evaluate, it will again press evaluate, then it gives me the output. So it's showing me how this 729 has been computed. This is another option. But maybe you're not interested in going in all those. You want to use your F9 key. But this F9 key, I can say, okay, I know what is in E58 to E60, but I just want to know the output in E50 times E56. So I'll highlight it like that. Then I can now press F9. So I'll just press F9. It will show me what those two cells give me. So to show that I'll get 873. So I can move on and press here. Highlight that component and press F9 key. So to show it's 873.6 minus 144. Kennedy, is it okay? Michael?
Lost a little bit.
Yes.
You have managed?
I haven't managed. My F9 is not giving anything.
Then if it's not giving anything, try F9, FN, which is next to control, FN, F9. FN, F9. Try that. Highlight
F9.
like this. Then press FN. Well, yes, you press on FN, then press F9. You know the FN, which is next to control.
Yes, yes.
Try. Is it working?
FN. Yes, it is now.
So even that F5 thing that you had, if you press FN, F5, it will open that dialog box they go to. Try it.
Okay, okay.
Is it okay now?
Yes, it does. Yes, it
Okay.
is. It is.
So you can press escape. So this is how you can use your F9. So here, I know now that you need to use your FN, F5 for some of the laptops.
Yeah, moving for mine.
Yeah, it's FN, F5. Alternative is Control G.
Yeah.
So let's go to the common terms used, the vocabulary. I've brought in, I had to do this workbook with just a pictorial thing. So it shows where you have these home, insert, these are what we call ribbons. Under home, you see these small buttons. They are called launch buttons. So it's a launch button. So when you press this, it takes you to a family of fonts. This is a launch button. So if I'm under home, like here, or the small with a down arrow key or symbol, these are launch buttons. This is the launch button. So you just press that, you can launch. Or alternatively, since you know using the control one, you just use the control one. Under group, so if you go to home, you will see that this part here on it is actually a group of clipboards. This one there, it is a group of fonts, a group of alignment. So these are called groups.
Okay.
Okay. Then down here, we know that these are worksheets. If you want to insert a new worksheet, you have two options. It's either taking your cursor, you go to where the plus is, and I know a lot of people know that. You can press, you have a new worksheet, or wherever you are, you can just press Shift F11. Shift F11 to open a new worksheet. You don't need to so you just press Shift and F11 key to open a new worksheet. Okay. Then where a column meets a row is called a cell. So you have a cell, and a group of cells is called a range or an array. So you'll find as we start looking at functions like VLOOKUP, SUMIF will be told about the range. So we should know that a range is not a single cell. A range is a group of cells.
Cells, yeah.
So this is what I was trying to explain there. Then the whole workbook is a file, or you can still call it a workbook. Okay. So we go to formatting color scheme. So like for inputs, where you're just hard coding things, these inputs, according to the best practice, there will be in blue text with a pale yellow background.
Okay.
But financial modelers they have totally agreed on color blue as an input font. But on the pale yellow background, it's not something that is which has been commonly agreeable. But you can still adopt it. But when you download the worksheet, a financial model or whatever, when you find that it's in blue, just know that it is a hard-coded. It's an input cell. They have also agreed that where there are formulas, it should be black text. Here, there's a problem in external reference. They say it should be green, but other financial modelers they say, no. Why should we have a model that is connected to other workbooks? Meaning that each time you open this financial model, you will need to also open the other workbooks that are connected to it. So it's rare that you're going to find a model with an external reference. We normally kill those external reference. We normally kill them. We just go to data and kill all external edit links, kill all the external links. Okay. And I did show you that using F5 or Control G, you can still do your formatting. Those are things that are done at the end. formulas and formatting. Okay, so we have the account lines, transport up to marketing, and the costs are here. We have the operating growth, which is an annual growth of 7%. So this one is year one. We can then now do year two. So how do we do year two? We want to grow these numbers, these costs, by 7%. So I'll introduce what we call anchors or locks. When you see dollar signs in a formula, that is not money. In a formula, not just outside there, in a formula. When you click on a formula, on a cell, you find their dollar signs. These dollar signs, it is not money. Otherwise, I was going to be very wealthy, Michael, because I spend more than 6 hours in Excel almost every day. I was going to be very wealthy. They are locks.
Okay.
So a dollar sign, for example, a dollar sign before a column, say T5, meaning that you are actually locking. You are locking a column. A dollar sign just before a row number, you are actually locking a row. Where you find that you have dollar sign before a column and dollar sign before a row. Sorry. Dollar sign before a row, meaning that this is what we call absolute locking. You don't want that cell, the numbers to move. This is absolute locking or anchoring. So check what is going to happen if we don't lock. Say equals, we pick transport there, that is in year two, times open bracket 1 plus 7% there. Then we close it like that because we are growing this cost by 7% on an annual basis.
Yeah.
So when you press enter and take it down, just double click here, you will see one thing, that the first one here, if I use the formulas or F2, I got formulas, I got trace precedence, you'll see that it is hammering nicely. It's peaking 244 and growing by 7%. But this is not the case in the second row there. Check how it has moved. If I press on trace precedence, you have seen it's now hitting here. In the third one, if I press F2, you can see where it is going. Why? Because we did not lock.
Okay.
Yeah. So those dollar signs, they're very, very important. So how do we do it? Okay, let me just remove the formulas. Let's just delete that. So, oh, okay, I can leave those numbers since I made a mistake. I just want to show you how you can use your Control D. So in here, we can say equals 244 times open bracket 1 plus plus E37. The shortcut to having the dollar signs is by pressing a key called F4. I forgot to put it there. So when you press F4 key, you can see there are $2 but I'm not interested. I'm interested in locking a row, not a column, because I want, as I move the formula this side, it does move. So from here, I'll still press F4 again. So it has locked the column, the row. If I keep on pressing the F4, it will lock the column. Again, F4, it will remove all the $signs. F4, it will actually put all the $signs. F4, it will lock a row. So I'll close it like this and press enter. But then what we do here, remember that these numbers, the formula in here, it wasn't locked. So what do? You just highlight. You just highlight up there. Just highlight up there and press Control D. Control D. Like that. Wow. So everything now is locked. You can see, I come here, it's okay. It's okay now. But these are cost elements. We are interested in finding the totals. We are interested in finding the totals. So, for example, the total in D, you can choose, press equals sum, you highlight this, or you can do like this, equals sum, tab, Control A, it can open like that. Or you can use a shortcut. A shortcut here, it is out equals. You press out equals or out plus. It will give you the sum. So I'll press out, then press equals like this. And press enter. Are we there?
Let's,
I can even
let's
put
go
it.
back to,
Hello?
let's go back. Using the out?
Yes, using out plus or out equals. Anyway, where the plus is, that is what the equal sign is.
Okay.
Has it managed to give you a sum?
Without highlighting? I need to highlight first?
No, you don't need to highlight. Just check. I'll come here, I'll press the out, then press where the equal sign is. Here. Then press enter.
Okay. It's not giving. Maybe I've got to go again to the FN.
Hello?
Maybe I've got to go back using FN in my case.
Yeah. Maybe. Try FN. FN, press FN out, then press your equal sign. Is it working?
Out, plus sign, or plus sign? No, it's not.
Hello?
It's not? It's not.
Okay, just come out from there. Just get back. Yeah. Hold the out key. Let's see. Hold the out key.
Yeah.
And press where you have your equal sign. It's still not working.
No.
So FN.
Okay, let me try once.
If you press FN out, then you press your equal sign.
It has now.
It has, huh?
Yes, it has. I think I was pressing out GR.
Yeah?
I was pressing the other one, the out GR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a wrong one.
So it's just out equal. So you have this number. So on this one, what we can do, we can press Control 1 so that we have the borders. Control 1. Just press Control 1.
Yeah.
Then we can go to border. So under border, we can have this, the first one here, on the topmost, the one that actually picks the first one. You can press, just press that one. Or if you don't have there, you can still just take your cursor just here. And press OK. Oh, sorry. Didn't I even pick? I didn't pick Control 1. So I'll pick this. Then send down. So it's showing the borders, huh? Is it?
This is shown. It's shown a border for me.
It is. Okay, okay. I've just created some space up
Yes.
here. Okay, it is. So then what you can do, what is show there? Okay, it was here. Sorry, I'm just show of the. Let me just remove this. Let me just clear the print areas. Okay. So what I show here, Kenneth, you can show, if you wanted to copy the formula there, you can still do copy. You come this side, Control V. You can do that, but I don't want us to use that formula. So what I want to introduce a function called Control R.
Okay. Control R.
It's a shortcut called Control R. What you are seeing there, just highlight up to E, highlight up to E, and press Control R.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
Is it working?
It is.
You're happy? Right?
It feels like I know so much already.
So now what we can do, sorry, just want to check the format that is here. So what we can do, let's go to D128. Go to D128. Michael, go to D128.
D128?
Yes. So
yes.
D128, go for your favorite shortcut, which is Control 1. Press Control 1. We want to go to the formatting.
Okay.
So let's go to Custom, Kenneth.
Yeah.
So under Custom, you can pick the 0, this one, or you can just remove General there. You can pick 0. Okay. So here, before this 0, you can put anything that you had code in Excel, where you're doing your formats. You always have to put inverted commas, those speech marks, like this. So press Shift, inverted comma, then type here and inverted comma like this. Let me just magnify it. Please do something like this.
Yeah.
We want to come up with a certain format.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just demagnify. Press OK. So in here, we can then now just type 1, and press enter. We have changed the format. So the format changes now is year one.
Year one.
So that tells when you do that, it looks like it's a text. It's not a text, it's a number. So if I was to ask Excel that, are you a text? Is text in there? It would say, no, I'm not text. It is a number. But you have just put in to show that this is year one, year whatever. Oh, you're here. Oh, there. You can then now type equals year one plus 1. So it will show year 2. But there's something interesting I want to show you using control R. Are you there, Michael? Kennedy, is it making sense?
Yes, it is.
Now, Kennedy, because you have been given these percentages that on an annual basis, it is actually going to be growing, or it's supposed to be growing at 7%. And you are told at MFAS that you have to forecast for 10 years. Some models that are developed, they even go for 25 years. So you don't want to continue doing one thing after the other, one part component. So what you're going to do, just highlight this for me. Highlight, I don't know how many years, up to H, since I had put some few things there, up to H. Have you highlighted?
Yes.
Yes.
Then press Control R and see watch what is going to happen.
Okay.
Magic, huh?
Witchcraft.
So here, after we have done this template, if someone says, no, in year 3, it is because Zambia will be paying Euro bonds and all these other things, we expect that inflation may actually increase. Instead of 7%, it may be 10 years. I can type 10 years like this, and the numbers will change. So after year 3, we expect there will be a boom. So inflation will reduce to about 5%. I can type 5%, and all the numbers start changing. We only teach these elements, Kenneth, when you have bought a God whatever. That is when we teach these elements.
So you see, Michael, we are in the same, we are also equally God for now.
Yes.
So from here, I know by the time because I'm supposed to have another class with Zika's students in financial modeling, but theirs is just basic. It's not gold. Them, they bought, I think it's platinum or silver. So for them, they don't learn these things that you're learning. They have seen Chinzi, she has joined us, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So this is the miracle that you do. It's not difficult, like I said. You just go in there, press like this, hold Control R. These are miracle functions that we use to train our God clients, not platinum or zinc. So then we go to, there's another thing that maybe let's pick this part. This will be very interesting. So Michael, just highlight up to 135.
Okay.
Okay, maybe not even up to 135. We can do like this. Okay, let's pick up to 135. Copy. Go to 142 and press 142 and press Control V, you are just pasting.
Control V.
Control V, yeah?
Yes.
We can cut this subtotal. Let's cut the subtotal. Go to E149. Let's cut the subtotal. We press Control X. And we can have it on 153. On 153. And press Control V. Okay. Now, you see when you're here, you may want, say, for example, in 145, where we are in C145, we want to reduce, to delete some of these rows. I see some people doing like this, going like this, right-clicking, and they go to delete, just check, then starts telling them whether it's row, and they start getting confused. So all you're doing there, you press Shift space bar. Space bar, you know your space bar, this thing that you have just in front of you. Shift space bar. Once you do that, you can then now press Control minus. Control minus, you'll be able to delete these. Hello there?
Yes,
Coach,
we are.
sorry, do we
Kenneth,
start
is it okay?
Yes, it is. It is.
That is, if you are trying to delete a row, you just Shift space bar. If I want to delete, for example, go to, where is the column? There's something that I put somewhere.
Coach, excuse me.
Suppose I want to delete column J. What is in column J? That out plus. All I'm going to do, instead of Shift space bar, it will be Control space bar. Control space bar, then it highlights the column. Then I can press Control minus and then delete like this. So if you are deleting a row, you want to first select a row, you press Shift space bar, then Control minus. If it is a column, it will be Control space bar, Control minus. If you are trying to add a column or a row, it will be Control plus.
Plus. Okay. Okay.
Now, there's something interesting that I want to show you, which is only given to Gold clients. So here, let's just change where we have transport and whatnot. Maybe we can, okay, we can change, we can still have this, maybe. We can say transport external services. Maybe here I show that these are part of cost of sales. So under cost of sales of transport, external services, and marketing. Then we go down there. The OPEX, operating expenses. So under operating expenses, so please just delete the 720. It's very misleading for now. This subtotal, I don't know where we're going to take it to, but maybe we can leave it for now. So here we'll say under operating expenses, we have marketing. And we have, let's say, administration. Administration. So we have these two. So let's say marketing, we have maybe it's 54 kwacha, whereas administration is maybe 106. Okay. So on these two, we can put we can put a border, bottom border, like that. Okay. There is a reason in financial modeling why we advise or why we use subtotal as a function rather than a sum. So in here, instead of just doing out equals, picking the sum, there we don't want to pick the sum like that. So we use a function called subtotal. Type equals subtotal. Once you are just there, you can press tab so that you have something like this. So you can see this subtotal, it can be for count, count A, max, mean, product, but we want to sum. So we'll type 9. Very interesting. We'll type 9. Then comma, we pick these numbers that we want to subtotal. Like that. You see the reason why we use subtotal. Kennedy, press enter. We'll do similar thing here.
Okay.
Again, we'll do this, we'll say equals subtotal 9, which is the sum, comma, we pick these two numbers. We press enter. Let me see if you have done that.
Yeah. We've done that.
Done?
Yes, please.
So here then now we can say total, because these were just subtotal. These were subtotal. This one is also a subtotal. Maybe you even create some space a bit because it just needs to look a bit tight, a bit tight. So you have your total there. So what this subtotal does, it eliminates duplicates. Imagine someone, maybe Abema Vakulwapula, Kenneth, then does the sum and goes and picks these numbers like this. Sorry, picks the numbers like this. He would have double counted. But with the subtotal, it is so intelligent. Just check what we are going to do. Well, in here, type equals subtotal. Again, type 9, comma. You pick everything, but it makes sure that once you do that, what it does, it intelligently knows what is not supposed to be duplicated. This is a miracle. Press enter. So it is as good as picking 720 here plus 160 there. Interesting. But when someone comes there, we'll find that it has highlighted everything. How are these formulas done? And especially in models, this is what we do, so that anything that you put in here, it is not going to pick. But if you have another subtotal in between, it will pick that subtotal. As long as there's a function called subtotal within, it will pick all the subtotals.
Yeah.
And it is not going to duplicate. Hello, Kennedy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Is it okay?
Yeah, very fine, very fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we are done with today's class. I pushed in a function, another worksheet on a navigation. Maybe we'll quickly look at this before the platinum clients meet us here. They'll be very jealous. They don't need to know that we're here. So since you have to keep quiet. So under navigation, shift these arrows. We know that you can go like this just by pressing shift arrow keys, which we have already looked at. You can also have control shift arrow keys. It will take you last. It can take me like this. And I can go back there. But what I'm interested in, we have looked at the control spacebar. Control spacebar, it highlights a column. So if I hold control and spacebar like this, it highlights a column. Shift spacebar, it highlights a row that we have already looked at. But there are times when you want to navigate from one tab to another, from one worksheet to another. So you can hold control, page down. You can see where it's taking me, page up, it takes me this side. You don't need to use your mouse to say, let me go to navigation, let me go to there. Then there are times when you have a worksheet, a workbook that has so many worksheets. You can still just take your cursor just somewhere there and right click, it will show the worksheets within this workbook. So if I want to go to legend, I press legend, I can double click that, it takes me to legend. So I just thought you needed these. I can press control to home, it will bring me to A1. So there are times when you have made mistakes, you have gone to about 1 million rows. You just press control home, it will take you to cell A1. Or control end, it will take me to where the data ends. So if I'm here, if I press control end, it actually takes me to where you, in that worksheet, the last cell which has data. If I was here on navigation, I say control home, it brings me to home, control end, it takes me to where the last data is. Interesting. Then you have this control plus, then you have that bracket. If I hold that, control with that bracket, if it's a formula that I'm looking for, in the formula, once I just hold, for example, let me do this. I say equals, let me pick a number somewhere there, 109. This is more of a miracle shortcut. You don't know where, you don't want to start going to legends E18, start searching where is E18, what. Well, you're still there, you can just press control and that bracket, the opening bracket like that, it takes me there. But you don't need to memorize most of these shortcuts. Kenneth, you can just press the Alt key, for example. Press the Alt key. It will show you, if you want to go to home, I can press H. If I want to go to insert, I can press N. So for example, I want to go to home, I'll press H. But then I want to highlight in that cell, I'll press H again. Then I'll use my down arrow key because I want to highlight it in blue and press OK. If I want to introduce grid lines, I can still press Alt. I know that grid lines, I can find them under page layout or view. So if I press P, I know that the grid lines, just this shortcut VG. So I can press VG like that. But sometimes we do it so quickly that you will not see. I'll do like that. But in slow motion, ideally, you're pressing Alt. you're going to P, you're pressing VG.
Okay, so similarly, if you want to remove the grids.
Hello?
So if you want to remove the grids,
you should do the same thing. You go to out, you go to P, and press VG.
Okay.
So it's out, check. Then once I press P, it opens the page layout. You can see the VG is here on the grid lines. So
Exactly.
I just need now to press V and G like that.
Okay.
But we do it so quickly that you will not see. So if you forget a function, a shortcut, do not stress, just press on out, then you can check which functions that you want to pick.
Yeah.
So we are done with today's class. Kenneth, when are you available? I know you're a very busy man.
Yeah. Tomorrow is a Thursday. I think tomorrow I should be available, same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same time. 6:30 is good for me.
Okay. So you can meet at 6. Tomorrow is a Wednesday, or tomorrow is a Thursday. Yeah, let's just meet at 6:30.
Okay. Yeah.
So Michael, take note.
Okay.
Michael, you should join the Zcash team. I think we are looking at some few questions. Their modeling or their Excel is not that it's more aligned to their syllabus. So we don't give them. I don't want to give unsolicited information. Yeah, unless they pay for it. Mm-hmm. So Kenneth, how was it?
Oh, great! So far,
we normally check
I've learned quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've learned quite a lot of stuff that I could not have known initially. So it's a very good first class, actually. Yeah.
So always use the control R. I think you have seen what control R does.
Yes. And trust me, I'll use it tomorrow. I've been given, in my role, I've been given the budget to review because I'm in that unfortunate top position at the moment where your head of finance sends this. So I should be able to check quickly the documents that I think have been sent to me, the spreadsheets. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll edit the video and it will be available on your site. Your site is on corporate. I think you know it now. It's corporate models.
Yes.
So that's why I'll be pushing most of these documents. I've already put the Lafarge financial statements. They are there. I'm yet just to finalize on the Excel part, which will be put there. Once we are done with Excel, then we can go into integrated financial statements.
Okay. No, that's fine. Much appreciated. So far, so good. I'll practice most of this tomorrow early morning before I even start working.
And I have to be very serious because I know once you are done with this, you'll bring more of your juniors.
I have a bunch of people. I have a bunch of people, not just MPhils, I think other places as well. But I've got to enjoy the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Let me be the guinea pig for them so that I can get the right message to themselves, actually.
Definitely.
I will be sending some people your way. I'll recommend.
So thank you so much, Kenneth. You can now leave us. I'm starting another class at 8:30, but that's platinum. Hi, Chinzi. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good.